Hey, my name's James Nicholson and welcome to this channel. Now in this video, I'm going to discuss, should you take the leap of faith and buy a property in 2022? Now, before we jump into that, and make sure you stick around to the end, I would like you to subscribe to this channel and hit the bell. Now, this channel is all about my investment journey. I'm currently building out my portfolio, but I'm building a portfolio for my two daughters, and I think you'll find that really interesting. We're currently building a portfolio for my daughter Georgia, who's 21, and my baby Amelie, who is just 1. So if you don't subscribe, you're going to miss out on all the highs and lows and everything in between. We've just bought our first property in Doncaster, and you can see all of that process, including buying at auction and all the renovation updates on this channel. So subscribe right now and hit that bell. Now, should you buy in 2022? It's a big question, because what we're seeing now is that potentially we're at the top of the market, at least if you read the newspapers. Now, there are various factors that have been pushing the property prices up. A lot of money got printed. A lot of people had extra money during the pandemic, and people wanted to move out of the cities, right? They wanted to live in the countryside, and that benefited me greatly because I've got a portfolio in Hastings, and that went up in value during the pandemic, which was good. Now, no one wants to buy at the top of the market. But should you buy if you're an investor? Well, I myself am going to continue to invest in 2022, and here's why. Now, when I buy properties and look for deals that are below market value. So I already have made some equity in that property when I initially purchased. So Georgia and myself, my bigger daughter, my older daughter, we've just bought in Doncaster, right? And so we bought a house for £60,000, next door sold for 80, and one down the road that's in a similar condition to where we're going to be has just sold for 100. So that shows us that potentially, if we make our house as good as the one that's worth 100, that will be worth 100 too. And so that's a consideration there, is that if I can continue to buy below market value, you see, you make money in property when you buy, not when you sell. And so you need to be looking for deals where you can add value. And so we've done that with a few projects recently as well. We've got a 1-bedroom flat. We converted that into a 2-bedroom flat. We've got a studio flat that converted into a 1-bedroom flat. And there's all sorts of deals like that out there. And those aren't going to get hit massively by a market decline. And here's another thing. Interest rates are very, very low at the moment. And in 2023, they're going to be higher. Even at the end of this year, they're going to be higher than they are today. So if you can get a deal and you can fix it for 5 years on a great rate, then that would make sense too. Because all that matters when the market is going up or down or sideways is, do you need to sell? And if you do need to sell, then obviously that's a concern for you. And so you then need to worry about whether the market is at the top or not. But as an investor, I like to buy and hold my properties. I'm not looking to ever really sell any of my assets at all. I like to buy them and hold them. And that means that, yeah, maybe sometimes I could have bought at a lower price when the market dropped. I started investing in 2009. I could have bought loads of properties in 2008, which I didn't at that time. And so I've missed out on some opportunities, but I've still had great successes in property. My portfolio is worth considerably more than I paid for it initially. And so I think just getting into the market and getting some deals that stack up and you're making profit, it is the right time, right? It is the right time. Even if I was buying for my personal home to live in, I've got to consider two things, right? So I might look at it and I say, right, the house might be worth 100 grand today with an interest rate of 2%, but maybe in a year from now, that property is worth 95,000. The market could go down 5%, right? But the interest rate is now 3%. And so now I'm, instead of paying, if I was on an interest only mortgage, I would have been paying £2,000 a year on my payments, which is like, what's that, £180 a month. But now, next year, I might be paying nearly £3,000. So I'd be more like, I'd rather buy the house for 100 and get it on a lower interest rate and secure that for a longer period of time. And look, when things do crash, the biggest crash in recent times is the 2008 crash, that went down 15%, and by 2010 was back up, and by 2012 was really moving again. And so it doesn't matter if you fix it for 5 years, because if you bought now and you fix a property rate for 5 years, you're going to make profit from rent. And maybe you increase the value by adding another bedroom or doing extra work to it. And so I wouldn't be looking at buying, for example, in this market, a new build property, because when you buy a new build property, you generally lose 10% straight away anyway, like a car. And so that new build is now not a new build because you've moved into it. So that, if you tried to sell it the next day, would be worth less money. And that property, I couldn't add any value to it. So if you were going to buy a new build property, yeah, there's more risk involved in transactions like that. But where we are as investors, we're looking for stuff that needs a renovation, that needs some love. We're buying properties from auction. We're buying from motivated sellers that need to sell fast. And so if we can buy a property like I have just bought at auction for 60 that could be worth 100, yeah, I've got to do some work. There's 10, 15 grand of work in there, but I've already got my 25% equity, if all goes well, in that property. The market didn't crash 25% in 2008, sorry, it crashed 15%. So I'd still have roughly 10% in there as profit. So I'm not too concerned about it. But as an investor, you've got to do your due diligence. You've got to be cautious. You've got to find the right deal. But if you find the right deal, I would keep investing all the way through, and that's what my plan is. So I don't know what your thoughts are on that. I know when I make these videos talking about prices and stuff like that, lots of people feel that you should just wait for the crash. Who knows when the crash is going to be? There might never be a crash. But yeah, of course, at some point is likely that there will be. But what if it's not for 5 more years? What if it's not for 5 more years and then you like the prices keep going up 5% compounding year on year? You're going to get priced out the market. And so you could have made rent on that time, you could have added value, and you could have been building a portfolio. So invest wisely and make your money when you buy the deal. That's what I would say. So I hope you found that useful, interesting. But I know there's going to be tons of comments on that. So comment below. Give it to me, guys, in the comments. Give me a like on this video, guys, as well. And if you didn't join the Property Accelerator Facebook group, do that. We've got 400 investors and entrepreneurs in there. You can do that in the description, and we'd love to see you in there. That's it from me. I'm James Nicholson. Go and check out this video here, and I'll see you guys very, very soon. Bye for now.